day,
Yeah, I'm good too, I say.
Much love to everybody listening in. I'm here with Senor Sanchez, my Guatemalan brother from the US of A. He enjoys taking long walks along Santa Monica, soaking up the sun during the day and at night, watching foreign films with no subtitles.
I'm here with my Jamaican brother from South London, enigmatic Dr. Wagwan. In your spare time, I heard you've been trying to trace your ancestry, but so far, unsuccessful, eh? I have it on good information. It's because you're actually the father of all human. Shit, man, is that real? Are you actually my ancestor?
Could be, bruv. I could have sired your father who sired you.
Meta.
Welcome to the show, everyone. The higher level, where we interpret for you all the madness that has unfolded in the past week and other weird and wonderfuls that has happened. Today, we're going to be speaking about science, our planet Earth, diamonds, fucking aliens, and all other sorts of madness. First up, Senor Sanchez is going to update us on the latest in the hunt of dark matter in this wonderful universe that we have found ourselves living in.
Yes, man, it's been a crazy week. Scientists on the
hmm
Xenon 1T project, they detected
hmm
strange activity with their instruments. These
mm,
excess events, they could be signs of existence of powerful particles, these things called axions,
hmm
some of which are candidates for dark matter. See,
Wow,
dark matter, it's thought to comprise 85% of the matter in the universe, but very
wow.
little is known about its nature. But it's there. We know it's there.
Man, I don't know nothing about it. Tell us some more about it. What are some of the applications of dark matter that we can find ourselves? You know, can I travel backwards, in time to answer the question of whether I am actually the father of all humans?
Well, man, there's been conjecture that dark matter may be a highly efficient fuel source that could
Okay.
power spaceships, allow them to perform unnatural maneuvers.
Wow.
Yeah, in general, there's two types of particles in the universe: fermions with half integer spins and bosons with integer spins. If
Okay.
dark matter is a bosonic particle with no electric, color, or weak charge, that would mean it behaves as its own antiparticle. So you know what happens when you put antimatter together? You
No.
get a massive explosion. Everything you
Fuck.
see around you is matter.
Okay.
Now, you put an electron and proton together, they form an atom.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put an electron and a positron together, they don't form an atom. They form a massive explosion. 100% efficiency, baby.
Oh, so is that like Einstein's atomic bomb?
Even more powerful. More than
Fuck.
more than 1,000 times more powerful.
So has this been weaponized yet?
Not on Earth, not to our knowledge, but there's a lot of research into it. I won't say weaponization research, but there's a lot of research into it.
Okay.
There's some hypothesis that dark energy has an effect on the movement of time. So this line of research, consider, for example, what happens when you throw a chicken nugget into the air.
Mm-hmm.
It slows down as Earth's gravity pulls it back. Then you can eat the chicken nugget.
Mm-hmm.
But if you throw the chicken nugget fast enough, it will never come back, but it will still move more slowly as it moves further away because of Earth's gravity.
Right.
Physicists expected something similar to occur after the Big Bang, the first
Oh,
event of this universe. It spewed matter in all directions.
fuck.
The collective gravity from that matter should have slowed it down, but that's not what was observed. Instead, everything seems to have accelerated away, faster.
Fuck.
This is something mysterious. There is something very powerful pervading this universe that physically spreads space apart faster than you can spread a woman's butt cheeks, and gravity can pull things back.
Fuck.
The effect is very small, almost a whisper, but it's there, and it's been called dark energy because nobody knows much about it, but we know it's there. There's a hypothesis that dark energy could be the reason that time moves in one direction. There's a lot of research being done, actually, particularly in Area 51 on super advanced alien technology to try and understand this very phenomenon. They're trying to reverse engineer it from the aliens. They're hiding the truth, though. They're hiding the truth.
Mm. Wow. Area 51. That's where all them that's when your government is trying to hide all that alien shit, yeah?
They're hiding a lot of shit in there We need to find out what's in there. We need to open the books. They're hiding a lot of powerful alien technology.
For
They're deep,
man,
deep.
I heard maybe before this whole pandemic, people wanted to run into Area 51. They wanted to do this thing called Naruto running. Do you know how to do Naruto running, bro?
Yeah, I've seen it. It
You
seems
gotta
like a lot
you
of
gotta put your
weebos.
you gotta put your arms behind your back, pointing backwards, and then you put your head down forwards and you run. That way, people think you can dodge anything, man. You can dodge bullets. Anyway, I heard they tried to camp out the border and they tried to go in, but it was all unsuccessful. But most
Yeah.
importantly, bruv, could I have sired babies with an alien? And that is why I don't remember. Do you think that it would have been a good session?
Well, to your first question, the answer is it's possible. Not only possible, I actually think it's likely. You're a good-looking guy, very charming.
Mm,
People like you.
mm,
In regards to your question about it being a good session, my uncle would once say this about exotic ladies.
mhm,
They bring you the passion, electric,
mhm,
very sensual, very
mm,
sexy, sexy
mm,
homes.
Sexy aliens.
The more they come, the more you fuck.
Did you know the original Darth Vader was played by James Earl Jones? I think I am his father.
Shit, man. That's gonna upset a lot of people if that's true.
Why?
I don't know, a lot of guys on the internet, they have their identity tied up with the whole Star Wars thing. You change things around, people get upset. In fairness to them, some of the new Star Wars
This is
movies are
true.
pretty shit.
This is true. But I could be the father of Darth Vader. Anyways, let's talk about our planet Earth. The Arctic Circle hit 100 degrees Fahrenheit on Saturday. It's the hottest temperature ever. Tell us more about that, bruv.
Yeah, man. This weekend, a small Russian town in the Arctic Circle hit a really scorching temperature, 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, about 38 degrees Celsius for the
Mm-hmm.
countries that use the a sane system of measurement.
Mm-hmm.
While the temperature has not yet been verified by experts, if this temperature is verified, it will be the hottest temperature ever recorded in the Arctic Circle, and a real sign that the planet is about to get fucked
Bomba clock. 38 degrees Celsius. That's mighty high, bruv.
in the Arctic Circle.
That's mighty high.
Yeah, now you know
That's
what that's polar.
proper high.
Yeah, the polar bears are dying.
No, man, that's too sad. But there's a lot of people out there.
We're gonna be
They,
next, so
yeah, we're gonna be next. There's a lot of people out there. They don't believe in global warming. They don't believe that climate change is happening. Man, it's sad. I've been watching a lot of those David Attenborough, you know, docu-series on Netflix, man. Fuck, it's all sad news. I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch all these shows, lions in the safari, tigers in the jungle, polar bears in the Arctic. It was cool. It was all it was all adventurous. Now, when you watch Attenborough, all his show is all about climate change, fucking walruses jumping off the cliff, stampeding off the cliff, dying in multiple numbers. Polar bears, fucking skinny, bruv,
that's
unable to
fucking
eat a
depressing,
penguin.
man.
It's all over it now.
Fucking
People gotta
depressing.
believe climate change is real,
I think a lot of people do believe, but I'll give you the example of my father,
man.
who once remarked to me saying that, the scientists told us it was going to happen in the 2040s, but it's happening now.
Hmm.
So I think he understood it was going to happen. He just thought he would be dead by the time it would happen. And the selfish asshole that he is, he just
Mm.
figured, hey, I'm going to be dead. What does it matter? But it's happening now. And I think for a lot of senior citizens, they're like, well, this is going to be an issue. Now
Mm.
it's there.
Mm.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens if we make it
Mm.
out of this one.
Mm. Now let's talk about some of the what the earth produces in jewelry that has exploded and made completely popular amongst women, turn their legs to jelly when they're getting proposed. Let's talk about diamonds. The masters of the diamond world, De Beers. They're losing control, eh?
Yeah, well, if you do some research into De Beers and the diamond industry, you'll find it's probably one of the most blood-stained industries on Earth. For
Mm,
decades, purchasing uncut diamonds was a tightly controlled process. First,
mm,
you'd have to talk to De Beers and convince them to add you to their list of hand-picked buyers.
mhm,
Then, at about 10 times a year, you'd have to attend a week-long auction session and buy exactly the amount De Beers offers you at whatever price they choose. And for a long time, people did that because there was this kind of propaganda that you have to buy diamonds for your wife or for your girlfriend. They're really
mm,
just pieces of carbon. But it
mm,
was a very effective propaganda. That's just the society we live in.
mm,
So there was a high demand for diamonds. And the
mm,
system, on the other side, at the Russian rival mine, Alrosa, was pretty similar. So between De Beers and Alrosa, they had a very tight grip on the market.
mm,
Now, two things have really damaged the diamond market. One is the coronavirus, which is a short-term painful hit, but things could have gotten better. The other big problem is synthetic or artificial diamonds.
mhm,
We can actually, engineer artificial diamonds of a higher quality than naturally occurring diamonds. That's
mm,
basically going to destroy the diamond industry. And you can start to tell people that, oh, natural diamonds are better than artificial diamonds. But generally speaking, once you start to produce artificial gemstones, things
mm,
lose their value. Emeralds, rubies, these are all precious stones that can be produced artificially very easily. Sapphire, another example,
mm,
artificially very easily. They used to be expensive. Once they started to be produced artificially and in cheaper and cheaper values, the price of the natural stones went down. The same thing is likely to happen with diamonds. Every
mm,
year, the price of synthetic diamonds falls, and every year, the price of natural diamonds falls with it, despite De Beers telling people, "Hey, get the natural diamond, blah blah blah."
mm.
Your
Interesting.
husband doesn't love you if he doesn't get you a natural diamond. No, every year they have to match to the synthetic diamonds.
Mm,
And there's a huge amount of research in making diamonds cheaper and producing them more effectively because they're very useful for industry. They're
mm,
beautiful to look at for some people, I guess. They look like sparkly pieces of glass to a normal person. But from an industrial perspective, they're very, very important. They have a high
mm,
thermal conductivity. They're very hard. They've got a
mhm,
lot of properties that make them good for industrial technology.
mm.
So,
They penetrate well.
yeah, pretty much. In a
Good at
sense,
penetration.
there's a lot of money riding on making diamonds
Mm,
artificially, cheaply, and
mm,
using diamonds as jewelry. It's just not going to continue for much, much longer. The De Beers family, to my knowledge, is actually in the process of selling or has already sold most of their stake in the corporation. They made a good amount of profit off the stupidity of people, but it's
mm,
like the old saying, a fool and their money are easily separated.
mm,
But anyway, it's the industry struggling, and the
mm,
idea of a diamond industry as a jewelry industry rather than an industrial industry, that's definitely coming to an end now.
mm, mm. The beers, was very interesting in how they made popular the diamond. At that time, they had other jewelry taking precedent. And then they went and spoke to an advertising firm about how they can get diamond marketed to be, a more popular product. And then that advertising firm, they came up with that motto, what's that sales pitch? Diamonds are forever, or diamonds are a girl's best friend. And then
Yeah.
that's really when everything kind of exploded, diamond G's up in the air, exploded, dollar signs everywhere, you know. But lately now, especially in the UK, you can tell amongst the youth, diamonds, they're still popular. However, sapphires are starting to come back. Women, they prefer like a sapphire center ring with maybe small amounts of diamonds around it. They're looking to be a bit more sophisticated, so to speak. But diamonds, as have you been saying, is more practical in the industrial area rather than retail. It'll be interesting to see how jewelry, continues to sell in the future.
Yeah, I think artificially created diamonds are probably a good thing for humanity because if you look into the industry and you just have to Google the term blood diamond or conflict diamond,
Mm,
and if you want to
Many brothers.
if you
We
want to
got
lose
many
faith.
brothers who out there who shed blood for that.
Yeah. So it's a pretty fucked up industry, and if we can create these things in a lab without causing human suffering, or
Mm,
that would probably be a
mm,
preferable alternative.
mm. I don't know if blood diamonds is still a big thing out in the Africas. I think now there is a lot of problem around cobalt and other kinds of mining materials that goes into our smartphones, our laptops, these electrical technology that we are pumping out every day now. But I think that's a topic for another day. Here's one more economic problem the government's response to the virus has unleashed. Zombie firms. Tell us more about zombie firms.
Well, there's been a concerning rise in the number of US companies that can't make a profit, a large enough profit to cover their debt payments. People are asking, is this situation going to end up like Japan? Are we going to get
Mm,
the Japanese syndrome? Nearly one in five every publicly traded corporation on the US
mhm,
exchanges is, according to Deutsche Bank,
mm,
a zombie firm. That figure
mhm,
has doubled since 2013 and is up dramatically from the 1990s when there were almost no half-dead companies staggering across the landscape. Keeping financial ailing corporations alive, however, it beats the alternative of, soaring bankruptcies and joblessness everywhere.
mm,
So these zombie companies, they will die a natural death eventually once the economy recovers. And once the economy recovers, borrowing costs may rise, and workers' wages will climb a little bit higher. The biggest, I think, issue with zombie firms, and this is not, I should say, happening in the US, but zombie firms starve productive firms for capital. In the case of Japan, a lot of these huge zombie firms, massive conglomerates, they sucked up all of the bank lending and they starved the smaller, better quality firms of resources. However,
mm,
in the US, that's not really happening. There's plenty of capital that's going around to smaller firms. If
mhm,
anything, the capital going around to productive firms is actually much higher than the capital going around to the zombie firms. Zombie firms are really just, I guess, a byproduct of our economic system, which is
mm.
a very low inflation system and a very high senior citizen, a very senior heavy population.
Right.
So the more old people you get, the lower the inflation rate becomes, and the worse the economy becomes, and corporations start to behave like the population at large. The more old people you get, the more they start behaving like old people, and old people kind of look like zombies anyway. They're almost to the end. So
Hey,
in
bro,
a nutshell,
that's
you
much like me. Could be
you're
like
you're
you, bro.
you're pretty limber. You still
I
got
can.
energy.
My middle leg is very limber.
Your mind is very limber.
Mm. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the problem child of this planet, North Korea. North Korea, in this whole pandemic, has insisted it has been unaffected by COVID-19, which has left experts skeptical as South Korea has more than 12,000 cases and already nearly 300 dead. But still, North Korea are saying they've had no cases. Now, this is interesting because we kind of been hearing that Kim Jong Un, North Korea's supreme leader, is unwell. He's quite large, he's quite fat, right?
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
He's a big chubby boy, almost like a teddy bear, but not as friendly, and with a funny haircut. He's got
Yeah,
a funny haircut, huh?
it's a pretty
They
funny haircut.
Yeah, his haircut is trying to make him look a bit taller, and he wears like shoes with a bit of platform in them, almost like a drag queen. But he's their supreme leader. He hasn't been cited for a long time. Few months back, some said that he had uh, an issue when they gave him a surgery on his heart. Maybe like clogged arteries or something like that. And then he disappeared for a while. All over the Western media, they say, hey, maybe he's dead. And then they came out with their own propaganda showing him visiting or doing some kind of uh, tour of some power plant or something like that.
I think he was visiting a fertilizer factory.
Something like that. A fertilizer factory. Maybe he's looking to, you know, he wants to make that nuclear bomb. Maybe he just goes backwards and makes some, smaller dirty bombs. When
Motherfucker.
anyway, he's come out and he say, "Hey, everything's good." They even put some virgins, man, like I don't know how many virgins, something like 20 or 40 virgins on a train, send them up and they say, "Hey, we're sending up these virgins to party with our supreme leader. He's okay, he's healthy, he's
Motherfucker.
cocky, strong." They even did that. Who knows? Who knows what's happened to him? He lives a very lavish lifestyle. He feasts on caviar that comes from a large fish called the sturgeon, which unfortunately now is becoming extinct. It's an endangered species, you know, and this guy is eating it all the time. He gets it from his mates out in Russia, maybe from Putin. He calls Putin, "Hey, Putin, I need another 300 keys of caviar." And Putin goes, "No problem, bruv. I'll send them over." Anyway, so he eats that. He drinks cognac. He, my, I don't know. Maybe he eats fistfuls of bacon as well. Meanwhile, while his whole country is all starving, people are trying to grow vegetables using their own human feces as fertilizer, which doesn't work, and instead creates worms, parasites that when they eat these vegetables, their stomachs become big and bloated with worms all inside it, riddled. Poor people up there in the North Korea. So in his absence, Kim Yo Jong, which is Kim Jong Un's sister, I mean, she has been by his side his whole time. She's been one of the key advisors. But no, she's really stepped up. Maybe it's because in his absence, she's trying to show that the family is too strong. She stepped out. She threatened South Korea. Because, people in South Korea, there are a lot of charities. There are a lot of anti-North um, lobbyists trying to, shut down that communist government and reunite families because there's still a lot of families that have been separated in this North and South issue. There was a group of anti-North um, party that sent leaflets, propaganda leaflets in balloons across the border. And then these balloons will just drop these leaflets and let everybody know that Kim Jong Un, your supreme leader, isn't what he says he is. He's not nice, And even part of these balloons, there's some cash. They giving them some US dollars. Now I don't know how effective that is. Whether the civilians of North Korea can even cash in on the greenback.
Oh, absolutely. There's
Oh,
a
they can.
underground economy. Yeah, yeah, there is. Black
Oh,
market economy.
I guess there's a black market everywhere in the world.
The greenback is very, very important everywhere.
Mm. Mm. So Kim Yo Jong, she said that this group, they're human scum and they are mongrel dogs. She said that.
Charming.
Yeah, I know. What do you expect from a woman like that anyway? That woman, I don't think she gives blowjobs, man. I think she would just bite your cock straight off.
She looks nasty. And
You think? You
well, I
you
mean,
won't do her?
she's killed. How we don't even know how many people she's had killed, whether
Who
personally
knows,
or
man?
delegated. She
Who
looks like a
knows?
pretty sick fuck. She's from the Kim family. I'm sure
Mm,
she's killed a lot of people, abused
mm-hmm,
a lot of prisoners.
mm.
Yeah, yeah. She's committed crimes against humanity.
She's a powerful figure over there. So she warned of action in reprisal of these events. Apparently, she threatened to destroy the Inter-Korean Liaison Office, which was set up in 2018 to facilitate communication between the North and the South. And guess what? A few days later, or a week later, I don't remember no more, she destroyed it. That building got bombed. It blew up, bruv.
But it's in North Korea, right? It's not in
It's
South
in
Korea.
North Korea. It's in North Korea. No. If
So
she attacked South Korea, man, I think it will be utter mayhem. It will be complete war right now.
That was smart. Bombing a building on your own soil. That was very intelligent. It's a bit like a small child getting upset and throwing their toys on the ground and then smashing their toys. And then
Mm,
the child usually cries afterwards. But like, what do you want me to
mm,
do for you, buddy? You broke your toys. But that's a child, not a head
mm,
of state.
mm. So she's blown that up, and then I think it's gone a little bit quiet. Other than South Korea has reported that they have seen the North setting up massive speakers along the border. In the past, they did this. They set up these massive speakers and they just blew propaganda music, propaganda, I don't know, um, shit across the border. And then in retaliation, South Korea set up their own speakers to play K-pop back to North. So both sides now are setting up these speakers. And in the next week or two, we're probably going to see some childish back and forth propaganda, going across their borders.
Yeah, it seems to be the pattern that continues. But I think long term, North Korea has a bright future as a buffer state between China and South Korea. China doesn't want North Korea to fall to South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want a strong unified Korea on the peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
Like all great powers, they want weak neighbors.
Mm,
And a unified Korea would be much more powerful and more difficult to control. You want weak neighbors, not strong neighbors.
mm,
So I think the Chinese government would go to great lengths to maintain the North Korean state. I'm not sure whether the Kim family will last. It may come to pass that, the Chinese tell the North Korean army, like, guys, we want to do business with you instead of, the Kim family. And
mm,
the Kim family might be liquidated. We might wake up one morning and they all get liquidated. It
mm,
could happen. You know,
mm,
we'll have to see. But I think North Korea has a bright future ahead.
mm. Well, the Chinese Communist Party, they didn't support Kim Jong-un. They supported his brother that Kim Jong-un, assassinated in where was that? Singapore or
Malaysia, I
Malaysia?
think. Malaysia.
Malaysian airport?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Malaysia.
Mm. See, they actually helped him because the Chinese Communist Party, they thought he was easier for them to control. So they tried to help him succeed. But Kim Jong-un, my God, he played that Game of Thrones situation much better and he took power. And so the CCP, that's how they helped him, the brother, get out of North Korea. Because otherwise, how do you think someone like that can get out of North Korea and have a life, a playboy life out in Malaysia, traveling from Malaysia to Singapore to Hong Kong? You know, he had help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But
Mm,
North Korea only exists because of China
that's right.
from the beginning, really.
That's right.
A lot of people forget, but the larger amount of soldiers was not North Korean that died in the Korean War.
No,
The most soldiers that died were on the Chinese side because they
mm,
wanted to maintain their buffer state.
that's
General
right.
MacArthur wanted to drop a nuclear bomb on China, and I think that President Truman told him to fuck off and then terminated his employment.
Mm,
But yeah, North Korea has always existed as a vassal
mm,
of the Chinese Communist Party.
mm. Just in
So
this last week, they celebrated their 70th year, the 70th anniversary of the Korean War. To this day, nobody knows the actual number of soldiers that died. The estimates at the moment, well, from the modern world, are maybe 3 million. They do know that the CCP sent 1 million soldiers for those efforts. And then CCP have never revealed how many of those soldiers actually died. They will never talk about it. But North Korea, for the CCP, are their little communist brother. They will always look after them. Same with Russia. Russia will always be our ally. Those three, you know, they want to look after each other.
I think
But,
Russia and North Korea are definitely good friends
mm,
because they're both diminished powers. But
mm,
I think Russia and North Korea probably view China as a concerning nation that's getting too powerful. They're starting to get nervous. They're naturally you don't want a powerful neighbor,
Mm,
and even though China hasn't really done anything untoward to Russia or North Korea,
mm,
uh,
mm,
it could it's rapidly developing the capability. So I think the friendship is probably not going to last too much longer. We'll have to see.
mm,
Certainly on the Russian side, I think. On the North Korean side, I don't think China really wants to invade or annex North Korea. But
mm,
Russia has a lot of good territory, a lot of good land, mineral resources, some of which they actually took from China. China
mm,
doesn't make noise about this because the Russians are ready to go to war at the drop of a hat. But at some point in the future, China might, if, for example, it won its struggle against the USA, probably by the next day they'd take out Russia, which is its next greatest threat. But the
mm,
Russians understand this. They know that if America falls, they'll be next, and they don't have any strength to take on China now
mm,
or into the future.
mm,
So I think that the Russians are starting to realign with U.S. The U.S. is almost a perfect ally because it's so powerful and it's so far away. You can
mm,
invite it when you need it, and you can kick it out when you don't want it. You can't do that with China. You can't be an ally with China when they're next door to you because once you
mm,
invite them in, you ain't sure as hell going to kick them out.
mm,
And even if you don't invite them in, they might come anyway.
mm,
So the U.S. has been able to build allies because it's so far away from everyone.
mm,
Not
mm,
a good situation if you're a neighbor of the U.S. You can ask, Latin America, see what happens. That's the fate of small countries who live next door to a great power.
mm,
All of those coups that were organized by the CIA, you know,
mm,
all of the interference, all of that, propping up of fascist dictatorships.
mm,
That's what happens when you live next door to a great power.
mm. Good point, bruv. Over in Glasgow this week, unfortunately, there was more stabbings, man. Man, the stabbings is just rife in the UK. So in Glasgow, around, I guess it was in a hotel, a madman was running through with a knife, just stabbing people. Eventually, the police came around. They cordoned off all the areas, told people to stay back, and they went in and they shot the guy dead.
Shit.
Yeah,
Why do these stabbings keep happening in the UK?
'cause we don't have guns, bruv. We don't carry guns.
Just go
So
around.
the next thing people do is grab a fucking knife. When they don't have a knife, they grab a bat. When they don't have a bat, then we can go to the old-fashioned fisticuffs. But right now, it's all about stabbings. It's all about knife fighting. Sad man. Every week now, it seems to be
Fucked
a
up.
stabbing. The stabbing that occurred 2 weeks ago out in Readings, that one now, they're saying that was terrorist related. It was a Middle Eastern 25-year-old man that, had a extremist background. And
Fuck.
so they said that one is terrorist related. But this Glasgow one, they're saying it's not terrorist related. It's just a madman run around in a hotel. I need to add that this hotel wasn't the normal one. This hotel was one for quarantine, the COVID-19 travelers who came across the border would have to be
Shit.
quarantined. It was one of those hotels. And the Glasgow man, he must have been upset with that. And he had maybe his own crazy political view. So he just ran in and started stabbing people. Luckily, that has been shut down now. Also, over in London in the past week, a man named John T. Bravery. Now he's more of he's 18 years old. He's still a youth, but he's being charged as an adult now. I guess he is as of adult age. He's been charged for throwing a 6-year-old boy off a balcony at the London's Tate Modern, which is a art gallery
What
we
the
have here.
fuck did he do that for?
He's a crazy man. He's had some issues. He's got all sorts of mental health issues. And he's actually stated to his counselors about a year ago that he planned and he wanted and he had this urge to kill a child or to kill multiple children. and he already
Okay.
described to his counselor how he was going to do it. He knew he wanted to pick a popular destination that had many stories, and he wanted to throw somebody off. Now, I guess every day these counselors and these experts, they're going to be hearing a lot of these kind of stories, but they can't tell whether it's real or not. Anyway, this jaunty bravery, unfortunately, he committed an act on this 6-year-old youth from a young family that was just there, having a day out, enjoying their time together, family time together. He'd been watching him. CCTV footage had been showing him wandering around the balconies, leaning over, trying to tug at young youths. And he picked this little boy and he threw him off the balcony. I don't know how many stories. The kid didn't die, but is completely fucked. This boy is now, he doesn't talk. His family says he doesn't talk. He goes for hours or days without talking to them. He's still, he can't move independently. He's a very upset, and his life is completely ruined. Well, his future is completely ruined. So they pick this guy up and they're charging him. I guess that's gonna be an easy case to close, but it's pretty sad.
But the question I would ask is, this didn't come out of nowhere, right? He was actually telling them, threatening that
That's
he was
right.
going to do this,
He had this planned out
and he
12
told
months
people
back.
about this.
He
He,
told his counselors he
he
had
told
this
the council.
urge. Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, the system. Look, the system is fucked. If somebody tells their counselors, "I'm gonna murder somebody,"
Mm,
and the counselor just like, "Yeah, let's talk about it." Okay. I mean, what the
mm.
fuck kind of system is that?
It's sad, man.
What's wrong? What's going on in your country? Oh well, I can't really talk. Sorry, we got school. We're probably due for another horrible school shooting. These things seem to happen every 2 or 3 months now.
It's just madness everywhere in the world, man. Complete madness over in Mexico City as well. Now, this one is next level. You know how shit goes down in the Mexico City, man, against the police officers, the army, and the drug cartels. There was an attempted assassination on the police chief of Mexico City. They didn't get him, but they got a couple of the soldier officers. So
Was
what
this?
happened? This was
Yeah.
crazy, man. They ambushed them, military style. They waited for them, maybe 20, 30 men with high-powered rifles, automatic rifles. Just blah 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 blah. Blast the bullets everywhere, man. Fucking mayhem.
It's like
They tried to kill
Scarface.
him. They didn't get him though. Apparently, it was this new generation cartel. So this Jalisco new generation cartel, they
And
have
what's it
come out.
called? Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación.
Mm, they're the new shit, bruv. They're the new bad boys on the block. Forget Sinaloa cartel. Those are El Chapo days. They're backwards, man. This new group, they're fucking bad. They're led by this guy who is a former police officer himself. But then he obviously, he's not earning good money. He's rounding up all these people. And then instead, one day he decides to himself, fuck it. I can do this shit myself. So his organization, his cartel is organized like a paramilitary, much more organized. All they care about, they don't care about just the money. They're there to cause violence. They're bad news, man. They've been the source of the problem of lots of murders, lots of killings of police officers in Mexico City and all around it. They just ambush. There was one incident way back. The army tried to go to war with them, tried to round them up. They're men, because cartels. They operate with good sources of. They have a very strong information system.
Hmm.
They found out that the army was coming for them. So they decided to take the whole city hostage. The whole city, man. They set up men everywhere. They threatened all the civilians and they said if the army doesn't back off, they're gonna start fucking beheading everybody. They're gonna start shooting everybody. So in the end, the government didn't go in. The government backed off. That's the level of control that these bad boys have. So they're the ones that tried to assassinate the police chief this week. Unsuccessful. Who knows what's gonna happen next week? Whether
It's
they
gonna
will be
escalate.
successful or not.
It's gonna
Who
escalate.
knows?
This is gonna escalate. The Mexicans are gonna call Uncle Sam, and Uncle Sam's gonna give them more intelligence, and they're gonna go around. This is gonna escalate. USA is
Mm,
already starting to legalize drugs because the best way to put these cartels out of business
mm,
is not to kill their members. It's
mm-hmm,
to just make them unemployed.
mm-hmm,
To, what the corporations kill more people than anybody. You want to
mm-hmm,
destroy these cartels, you convert them to corporations in the USA,
mm,
and that bureaucracy can start selling, I guess, low-level drugs like marijuana or something,
mm.
and then that would probably decrease the drug cartel behavior. But Mexico really needs to do something about it.
It's a
I guess
fine line.
I guess they're trying. They're trying, but
Mm. It's a
it
fine
is
line.
it is reducing, right?
Mm. Because, you know, the government doesn't want to legalize these businesses. So they're kind of treading that fine line. We all know that if you legalize drugs, you may remove the crime. You create a new source of revenue for the government to tax. You give it to all those major pharmaceutical companies to take over. You get good quality product. You get regulated industry, but at the same time, you're legalizing the cartel's business. So
Well,
it's
I
a
wouldn't
fine
say
line.
you're legalizing the cartels. These drugs and
Mm,
prostitution and alcohol and gambling, they will always happen.
mm.
A good chunk of the population wants to do drugs. They want to gamble. They want to go to prostitutes. This is just humans. They want to do this. I don't know why they would do that, but unfortunately, there's a lot of vices that humans have.
Well, we're primitive people in the end,
But if you
you
don't
know?
legalize it, then you get underground. That system, that industry goes underground. If you
Mm,
legalize it, then you don't get pimps, you don't get drug
mm-hmm,
lords, you don't
mm-hmm,
get gambling dens, you get
mm-hmm,
casinos, you get legalized prostitution, sex
mm,
workers,
mm.
you get marijuana dispensaries. And some
I
people
agree.
find that distasteful. Some people find legalized prostitution distasteful. But
Mm,
that's not the question. The question I would ask, would you rather have pimps beating the shit out of sex workers,
mm-hmm,
murdering sex workers, or would you
mm-hmm,
rather have a regulated industry? Would you rather have marijuana dispensaries operated under the law, or would you rather have drug lords? Would you rather
mm-hmm,
have casinos or gambling dens? It's not a
mm,
question of we criminalize prostitution, we criminalize drugs, that drugs will go away and prostitution will go away.
mm.
People don't understand that though, because they're fucking morons.
I agree with you, bro. I agree. But, you know, it's a fine line that governments have to play. At the end of the day, the government, that party, they want to be re-elected. So, you know, the most people that vote, majority of people, unfortunately, are not the brightest.
They try, but
Mm.
it's like a little kid taking a piss and can't reach a toilet seat. They try, but they mostly piss on the floor. But they try. Their heart is in the right place.
I want to talk about my brother, Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, his nickname is the Predator. He's a big boy in the UFC. He's a heavyweight fighter. He's a very nice guy, man. For his size, he looks like an animal and a complete beast of a man. Do you know about Francis Ngannou, Sanchez?
I've heard of him actually. I've seen a few of his photos. Yeah, he's a up and
He's
comer,
a
isn't he?
Yes, he is. He is. He had a shot at the heavyweight title. He wasn't ready, but he's known for his boxing. He's known for his big arms with his lunchbox-sized fist, swinging around and knocking people out if he touches them. He takes people's head off. That's the power that this guy has. In the past week, he's come out and he says, I want to go back to where I got this power from. He thinks he got the power when he was working in the sand mines. So he's been saying he likes to, whenever he goes back to his village in Cameroon, he likes to go visit the sand mines when, as a child, he was forced to mine sand. I guess this sand was used in construction. It's used everywhere. It's a key component of
Concrete.
concrete. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
mix it with cement.
hmm Man, a lot of these African brothers, these countries are rich in resources, but unfortunately, it doesn't spread to the population.
It's a continual pattern in history. It's called the resource curse.
Mm, mm,
Countries that are gifted and wealthy with natural resources,
mm.
they don't
And
develop
hmm
technology.
hmm And that's another problem our planet is facing. Sand is probably one of the most used resources right now, more than water. Sand is in everything that we do. Like you said, it's a key component of concrete. So it's a it's a dilemma that modern countries have, you know, increase any growth in property, any growth in infrastructure requires this most basic resource, sand. And sand can't be taken from a desert. So we can't just go to the Sahara and then soak up all that sand. This sand that's used in concrete has to be from, well, the north. Not has to be, but the best sources are from riverbeds. The sand out in the deserts, the granules on the surfaces are too smooth, so
That's right.
it doesn't bind properly. And taking it from the riverbeds has destroyed ecosystems in that area. There are some corporations with their research and development side trying to find a way to create syn synthetic sand, but that has yet to be achieved. But anyways, back to MMA. That's what I really want to talk about. Or back to combat sports. Mike Tyson, Iron Mike. He's been making the news in the past few weeks because he's been talking about doing an exhibition match. He's been training
In
back in
UFC,
boxing. No, not UFC, bruv. He wants to do charity matches for boxing.
I'm gonna watch that.
Oh, everybody is excited. This is Mike Tyson, man. He's about 52, 53 years old, but he's still a beast.
Tyson was a killer, but he took too much drugs and he chased too many women. That's why his strength became shit.
Like
He was a
Samson,
fucking killer.
Samson from the Bible. But yes, you are correct. He was an 18-year-old at that time. You can't blame him. He was an 18-year-old from the ghetto, youngest, most fiercest heavyweight champion at that time. Man, he was a full-time fighter. And then in his downtime, of course, he was porting up. So he says he's been wanting to come back. Every kind of promotion all over the globe, from every fucking corner, has been coming out to say, hey, we want to do a deal with Iron Mike. We will pay so and so amount of dollars. This is not a real boxing match, so to speak. It's not like a 12 round or even a 10 round fight. This
It can
is
be scripted.
no, it's not scripted, but it's gonna be a free round, a 3 round fight.
Three. Okay.
Mm. Because that's what he wants to do. It's a charity. It's for charity reasons. That's all he does now. But at the same time, Iron Mike, he wants to get back in because he's got that itch. He said himself out on his podcasts, he said he's no longer that guy that he used to be. Sometimes he looks back at that guy and thinks to himself, Bombakla, how could I have been like that? But at the same time, he says he does miss that guy because without that guy, he says he sometimes feels like a bitch. So I guess he wants to do it to to fuel his ego to see whether he still got it.
See if he's
He's,
still alive.
yeah,
He
yeah,
wants to know if he's still alive.
yeah. Pause. I had a mind blank. I forgot the trainer that he's King's MMA head coach. Hold on a sec. King's MMA. Yeah, Rafael Cordero. Okay, unpause. He's been training with the head coach of King's MMA, Rafael Cordero. Rafael Cordero is one of the best trainers, in my opinion, in MMA. He's not as well known as some of the Caucasian head coaches like Greg Jackson or Winkle John. He's not as popular as them, but all the Brazilians all the top fighters down south, they go to this guy. Any brother of color goes to this guy. He's been training with Cordero for the past few months. He's been showing snippets of his training out in his social media. My God, bruv, he looks like a beast. He looks ready. He's ripped and ready. He's fast. He hasn't lost anything. He's just got a bit of gray on his head, a bit of gray on his beard, but my gosh, he's scary. Scary man.
This is
So,
gonna be some fucking match.
oh man, you know he's gonna fucking bring it. The first 30 seconds, he's gonna fucking bring it. Don't
If
blink.
if
Don't blink, bro.
If Tyson stops the drugs, he will go back to what he does best, destroying people.
So Tyson Fury this week, he's come out and he said Mike's camp has reached out to him and said they want to do an exhibition match and they asked for 500 million greenbacks. And then Tyson Fury is shitting on that camp by saying they were completely unfair and, you know, it didn't leave Fury with anything. We don't know whether this is true. It's just made the media only because of Tyson Fury's own popularity.
Yeah,
But
you know
whether
what these
whether
boxers
there's
are.
any,
They always
yeah,
talk.
yeah, whether
It's
there's
just
any
trash talking.
evidence is we don't know.
They always trash talk.
Mm,
They don't
mm,
shut up about the trash talking.
mm.
It's part of the getting people excited, isn't it?
It's staying popular. You just say some dumb shit out on your social media, just like that fool Conor McChicken Nuggets. He just says some dumb shit every now and then,
Like,
just
look,
to
I'm
stay
still alive.
relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look, guys, I'm still here. And they have many followers.
punching
So
bag
every
for
time I
hire.
speak. That's right.
I can be there in a jiffy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Also out, this is not exactly combat sports, but it's still combat entertainment. In the world of WWE, my brother Keith Lee. Keith Lee is a big boy, bruv. He's huge. He's a monster. He's come out in the media because he was also talking about um, s- the speaking out movement in sexual assaults. The voices of males in this movement are quite rare. It's mainly about the females that have come out to talk about you know sexual inappropriateness that has happened to them. But comes out and he has a story, man. So this is a big guy, but he said he got drugged and raped by a woman in his past.
And I'm guessing that was met with howls of laughter and derision, or was that met with a serious look at our society? It was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, most probably, right?
Yeah,
Because
figured.
men's voices in this movement are kind of shut out.
Well,
They're
it's
not
kind of
really
funny for
listened to.
most people, right? Like
Exactly,
it's a
especially a
joke
big
on
beast like
TV.
him. Hmm.
Especially, people go to prison and other people make jokes about prisoners getting raped. Like, it's so funny, right?
Hmm.
Institutionalized rape. That's people think
Hmm.
it's funny, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
What,
Um,
we're in a world of equality, so cases from these men need to be heard and not to be taken lightly either. Let me read out to you some of the stuff that he described it was. He says he was in Dallas for an event, maybe just to visit family, where afterwards he went to an old bar he likes to visit. He says he was unfamiliar with its atmosphere, but he liked the vibe and he wanted to chill out there. So after listening to some music, a young lady came and sat with him. He said he was alone, so he don't mind a young lady come sitting with you. If it was you and me, we wouldn't mind it either.
Definitely not.
Hmm. So after a while of some pleasantries, he said to her, "Hey, look, I'm a taken man. I ain't available to sink the pink tonight." The woman, she said cool, but through the course of the night, she kept pushing it. She kept letting him know that she was into him. So long story short, he woke up naked in a hotel room, completely confused and obviously figured that shit must have happened to him. The whole point is we can't ignore stuff like this. We don't know what actually happened, and he's not trying to find this woman. He's just speaking his story out, supporting the speaking out movement. And as for us, we got to say that this stuff, it has to be taken seriously too.
Yeah, I'd agree. People deserve a voice.
Hmm. Hey, so some funny business, huh? Kanye West has come out with new shoes. You seen them new Yeezys?
I seen them. I seen them fucking shoes.
Man, what what's your opinion of his shoes?
Hey man, they look pretty slick. Kanye is kind of a loser, but they look slick.
You
What do
think
you
they're
think?
gonna be popular?
Uh, they're pretty slick shoes, but I think most people think Kanye is kind of an idiot. So I'm not sure whether his name will help or hurt the sales. I've seen better. I've seen a lot better.
Hmm. They
I'm
kind of look
sure,
like they look
yeah.
like Crocs.
Yeah, they're pretty funny looking. Do you reckon he makes his wife Kim Kardashian wear them? Like she'd be butt naked in bed, but just wearing
Mhm.
Kanye sneakers, and then he'd be like, "What's my name, baby? What's my?" And I could
I
see that
think
happen.
so.
I
I
could see
think
that
so. Why
happening.
not? I would do that too.
Yeah,
I
but you
would
would
do that
pick
too,
better
bro.
speaker. You would pick better sneakers on your woman, right?
Yeah, well, if I design my own shoe line, I would design a better shoe.
If
I
I'm
would
gonna
say
have
that.
sex with sneakers on, it's got to be like, them super flies, some really
Mm-hmm.
cool, really sick shit. I'd wear that.
Mm. This is
Yeah.
very interesting, though. I think my opinion of these shoes, from a business standpoint, this is smart, bruv. Look at it. It's minimal amount of material. Minimal. I mean, how much is he selling these bad boys for? What are they
I don't.
going for?
I don't know. Probably in the hundreds.
Yeah. And how much would they cost? They look like some, you know, bit
25
of rubber.
bucks
It's
in a
molded,
sweatshop.
yeah, molded rubber off some gum tree out in Thailand or Vietnam.
Yeah,
They're
it's
basically
25
Crocs,
bucks
man.
or less. 25 bucks or less, I'm guessing.
Mm.
Probably less.
They're
Yeah,
streamlined, aerodynamic Crocs. That's what they are.
probably made with child labor.
Mm. Unfortunately. But yeah, very, very, very smart from a business standpoint. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know,
pimping
man.
his shit, right? He's pimping his crappy wares.
Look, man, if they're comfortable and they're secure fitting, yeah, why not?
When are you gonna design some sneakers? I want to wear your shit.
Man, what shall we call our sneakers? I don't know what we should call our sneakers, man. So
You've got the
Kanye's
name
got the
perfect.
Yeezys.
You've got them. Doc Wagwans.
Oh man, Doc Weezies. Why don't we call it that?
Doc Weez.
Doc Weezies. And then what will be the style of them? We're gonna do walking sneakers or running sneakers.
Now we're gonna do walking sneakers. A little bit of a
Mm-hmm.
high cut, flashy,
Mm-hmm.
super
I
flashy.
like that. I like that high top retro style, man.
Red and black.
Strong colors, bruv.
Yeah, red and black. Perfect.
Mm.
Eye-catching. You can wear them with a suit, like a really tight fitting suit. It'd
Mm-hmm.
match.
Mm-hmm.
You make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm business, but I also got style.
Mm. I like this.
Tell them
Any of
corporate
you,
pricks.
any of you designers out there listening in, hit us up. We'd love to do business and create a new line of sneakers. Duck Wheezies, bruv.
I'm in.
So that's all we mostly have for this week. Let's round it up with Senor Sanchez philosophy, where he's gonna talk about his goodness, Lao Tzu.
People's poverty is caused by parasitic exploitation by the man, by the superior. Hence there is poverty. People's complicatedness is caused by the ambitions of their superiors, of their masters, of their owners, of the man, the government, the corporations. Hence there are complications. People's willingness to sacrifice is because of the weight given to life. Hence there are sacrifices. Only those who are not ambitious for achievements in life are truly capable of appreciating life.
The dude abides. The dude abides. Some deep stuff there. Deep stuff for everybody to marinate. Yo, you righteous people out there, keep safe, keep doing what you're doing, and join us next time to digest all the mayhem and all the madness again. Chill and war, much love to you all. Bella ciao, brother Sanchez.
Adios, Tati. Adios.
Ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire e seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Seppellire lassù in montagna, sotto l'ombra di un bel fior. Tutte le genti che passeranno, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E le genti che passeranno ti diranno che bel fior. E questo è il fiore del partigiano. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Questo è il fiore del partigiano, morto per la libertà. Questo è il fiore del partigiano, morto per la libertà. Questo è il fiore del partigiano.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
How you spell?
Huh?
Huh?
This is pizza. You want to place an order?
Yes, I am.
It's for delivery or carry out?
Yes? Can you spell the
Delivery?
name for me? Can you spell the name?
Huh?
Huh? Can you please say again?
Do you want a delivery or carry out?
Yes? Please?
Huh?
Huh? I don't understand what you say. Can you please say again?
Do you want a delivery or carry out? Do you want us to bring it to you or you going to
Yes.
pick it up?
How you spell?
How do I spell what?
How you spell?
Spell what?
Can you spell the name?
What name?
Can you spell the name for me? Can you spell the name?
Pizza Hut?
Yes? Huh? Can you
P-I-Z-Z-A-H-U?
please say again? I don't understand
P-I...
what you say. Can you please say again? Hello? Huh? Can you please say again? Yes?
P-I...
Why?
I.
Why? Huh?
Okay, can you call back, sir? Because I don't understand what you're
Huh?
talking about, and you want to spell a name. I don't understand what you want.
Why? Can you please say again? Hello?
Uh-huh.
Yes? I am a doctor.
Yes.
Can you spell the name for me? Can you spell the name?
Pizza Hut?
Yes?
I spelled it for you.
Can you please say again?
P-I-Z-Z...
Yes? Huh?
Z as in zebra.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Huh? Can you please say again?
Sir,
Hello?
you're gonna have to call back because I can't sit on the phone to spell Pizza Hut
Why? Can you please say
because
again?
I have other customers.
Why? I don't understand what you say. Can you please say again? Can you spell the name for me? Can you spell the name?
Sir, I spelled the name 3 times and you still haven't got the name yet.
Yes?
No,
Why?
because I keep spelling it and you keep telling me you can't understand what I'm saying.
Why?
That's why.
Yes? Can
No.
you spell the name? How you spell?
I cannot keep spelling it for you. I have customers that I have to attend to also.
Huh? I don't understand what you say. Can you please say again?
Sir,
Yes?
I cannot keep spelling Pizza Hut for you.
Oh? Why?
I have to go, sir. I have to call. I have to go take care of another
Can
customer.
you please say again? I don't understand what you say. Can you please say again?
I have to hang up.
Why?
You understand?
You need some help? Hello? Can you spell the name for me? Can you spell the name?
I spelled the name for you, sir, and I keep spelling the name, and you keep on telling me you don't understand what I'm saying.
Can you
I
please
don't
say
have
again?
anybody that could speak your language, so I can't keep on spelling it for you.
Why?
Because you're not understanding me. That's why.
Can you please say again?
No, I'm sorry. I have to go.
Why?
Because I have to go.
You need some help?
This is a place of business, and you're playing on the phone.
Why? Huh?
Bye.
Can you please say again?